Imagine the final words of a prophet who changed the course of history ever. What if these words held the key to consanity, justice, and equivalency for all humanity? Join us on a trip back in time to the farewell sermon of Prophet Muhammad, PBUH, a speech that continues to reverberate through centuries. Discover the important dispatches that not only inspired millions but also laid down the foundations of ultramodern mortal rights. What dateless wisdom did the Prophet, PBUH, share with his followers? How do these training remain applicable moment? Stay tuned to find out how one homily can transfigure your perspective on life and justice. As the 23 times of the Prophet Muhammad's, PBUH, prophethood were coming to an end, and the month of Hajj was approaching, he intended to epitomize the comprehensive training of his 23-time prophethood. Therefore, he decided to perform Hajj, the most comprehensive act of deification in Islam. The news of his appearance spread across the regions girding Mecca, and leaders and representatives of all lines, along with their people, began to gather for this great assembly. Large caravans of Muslims from across Arabia started heading towards Mecca. On the 26th of Dhu al-Qida, 10 AH, on a Sunday, the Prophet, PBUH, performed ghusl, ritual sanctification, slipped the ihram, the sacred state for Hajj, supplicated the Zuhr prayer, and set out from Medina towards Mecca. His women accompanied him. Upon reaching Dhu al-Hulayfa, 6 long hauls down from Medina, they stayed for the night. After performing 2 rak'ahs, units of prayer, the Prophet, PBUH, made the intention for ihram and mounted his camel, Kaswa. He recited the talbiyah audibly, "Then I am, O Allah, then I am. Then I am, you have no mate, then I am. Verily all praise, grace, and sovereignty belong to you. You have no mate, then I am." The Prophet, PBUH, continued his trip. Near Mecca, in the valley of Fatima, he performed ghusl. After an 8-day trip, on the 4th of Dhu al-Hijjah, 10 AH, he entered Mecca with over 120,000 companions. Upon seeing the Kaaba, he supplicated, "O Allah, increase the honor and quality of this house." He also performed the tawaf, circumambulation of the Kaaba, completing the first 3 circuits with a slightly brisk walk and the remaining 4 at a normal pace. After tawaf, he performed 2 rak'ahs at Maqam Ibrahim and progressed to perform sa'i, the ritual walking, between Safa and Marwa. After completing 7 rounds, he blazoned, "Those who have brought sacrificial creatures shouldn't exit ihram, but those who haven't should shave their heads and exit ihram." Hazrat Ali, R.A., arrived from Yemen with the sacrificial camels. On the 8th of Dhu al-Hijjah, the Prophet, PBUH, went to Mina and performed prayers. On the 9th of Dhu al-Hijjah, he progressed to Arafat. At Namera, a roof was set up for him, and at noon, he rode Kaswa to the plains of Arafat and delivered a homily that encapsulates Islamic training and mortal rights. After praising Allah, he said, "O people, hear to my words. For I don't know whether after this time I shall ever be amongst you again. Thus, hear precisely and take these words to those who couldn't be present moment. O people, just as you regard this month, this day, this megacity as sacred, so regard the life and property of every Muslim as a sacred trust. Return the goods entrusted to you to their due possessors. Hurt no bone, so that no bone may hurt you. Flash back that you'll indeed meet your Lord, and that He'll indeed reckon your deeds. Allah has interdicted you to take usury, interest, thus, all interest scores shall hereafter be waived. Your capital, still, is yours to keep. You'll neither induce nor suffer any inequity. He emphasized the significance of consanity and equivalency, saying all Muslims are sisters. An Arab has no superiority over a non-Arab, nor does a non-Arab have any superiority over an Arab. A white person has no superiority over a black person, nor does a black person have any superiority over a white person, except by piety and good action. The Prophet, PBUH, also addressed the rights of women and slaves, the significance of obedience to leaders, and other significant issues. At the end of his homily, he asked, "Have I conveyed the communication of Allah to you?" The entire congregation replied in accord, "Yes, you have." He also said, "O Allah, bear substantiation. O Allah, bear substantiation. O Allah, bear substantiation." After the homily, the angel Gabriel brought the following disclosure from Allah: "Moment I've perfected your religion for you, completed my favor upon you, and have chosen for you Islam as your religion." Upon hearing this verse, Hazrat Umar, R.A., began to weep, understanding that the Prophet, PBUH, was soon to depart from this world. In this homily, the Prophet, PBUH, addressed the correction of beliefs and conduct, consanity, the invalidation of ignorant customs, the prohibition of usury, the establishment of a balanced, profitable system, the rights of women and slaves, and the eradication of ethnical demarcation, among other important points. This homily serves as a will for the Ummah, and we should strive to cleave to the training of the Prophet Muhammad, PBUH.